Hello, I'm Dominic Walker, JMW's Inside Man. My guest today is Stephen Taylor-Heath. Stephen is a partner at JMW and the head of sports law. Now, Stephen, I know that you're one of the lawyers working on the Tommy Fury and Jake Paul fight. This is a fight that has been born out of social media. When you're working on the contractual agreements for this sort of fight, do you pay more attention to the social media aspect these days?
Well, it's always been the case, Dominic, with professional sport that the broadcasting rights and media rights are an important part of professional sport and the reason why they're paid so much money. But certainly it's becoming increasingly more important. Sports like golf have got a social media fund now for people that are publicising the events. You've seen publicity in relation to sports like tennis and what have you, where there's been a pushback in relation to the amount of media activities. But certainly when you're doing these types of agreements, there has to be greater attention paid to how the events are going to be publicised, the obligations of the sports people taking part in them. And that applies across a lot of sports. If you're taking part in an event, there could be clauses with regard to how you're publicising the event itself, as well as actually taking part in the event. This is a fight where, in terms of where Tommy Fury is in relation to his career, this is an event that's attracting significantly more attention because of who he is fighting and the social media aspects of it. But obviously, there are made-for-TV events across several sports featuring established stars. And at the end of the day, if it's a pay-per-view event, it's all a question of how many people are interested in watching that particular event. And clearly these two have got a considerable amount of following. It used to be the case, Dominic, that it wasn't what you know, it was who you know. It's a case now, not what you know, but how many social media followers you've got. And quite clearly people are capitalising on that for the benefit of themselves and the events that they're participating in.
And so you mentioned about the number of followers you've got. I mean, I know that JMW Sport do a lot of work around brand ambassadors and work with a lot of sports people and influencers as well. I mean, are you keeping in mind how many followers these sorts of influencers and sports people have got with agreements?
Well, as I say, that brands, if you're acting for a brand that's looking to prepare an ambassador agreement and things like that, then they'll pay a lot more attention now to how their collaboration is publicised and what they require in terms of deliverables from the sports person or the influencer. Clearly, if you're a brand looking for somebody to publicise your brand, then the number of followers that they have is quite key in relation to that, and how they're able to use their skills on social media to promote your brand. But from a contractual point of view, you need to tie that up. There's also regulatory aspects to it, and one of the advantages of JMW is that we have a dedicated regulatory team looking at advertising standards and things like that, because at the end of the day, you have to be very careful where you're promoting a product to comply with the requirements of paid promotions and what have you, which is an increasingly important aspect in relation to social media.
So, Stephen, for a sports person or brand ambassador who's being asked to enter into some sort of ambassador agreement with another party, what are your top tips? What should they do next?
Well, they're welcome to give us a call, and myself or one of my team will chat through the prospect that they've been provided with. Obviously, they will be flattered by the people that are approaching them with regard to what they are looking for from the ambassador, but the ambassador needs to look at what they're being asked to deliver. There will be a schedule that sets out the deliverables. We can look at those and we can ensure compatibility with other sponsors that they may have. We can look at the regulatory requirements, and we can look at if it's a sport, then the governing body's rules and regulations in relation to social media do's and don'ts, and make sure that they're not in breach of any of those commitments. And then obviously advise them in relation to the contract to make sure that they're not overcommitting for what they can actually deliver.
Thank you very much, Stephen. If you'd like to contact Stephen or a member of his team, you can email insideman@jmw.co.uk or call 0161 82 81 999. I'm Dominic Walker, JMW's Inside Man.